was the finest picker to ever play the blues. That was. Woo! Welcome to the Daily Grind, and if you're not awake, you are now. I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker. Woo! And for you this Wednesday morning. All right, we're done. I have my two guys. I got the two bucks with me today. I got both of them. I got Uncle Buck and I got Buckets. How we doing, y'all?
That is my favorite Leonard Skinner song.
It's
No
so good.
kidding. Like, it's such a deep cut for some folks, but Ballad of Curtis Lowe is
So
by
good.
far my favorite Skinner
Agreed.
song.
When you could first put songs as your ringtones on your phone, I had a little camo cased BlackBerry, and the first song I ever had was Curtis Lowe was my ringtone. Love that song.
I knew I could count on both of you guys to like that song because that song it's one of the best. And I'm glad we're talking about ringtones because I had Black Eyed Peas. I had a feeling it started out unironic and then it was ironic, but
Yeah.
still bad either way. Unlike Leonard Skinner. Tell you what is bad though. There's no way to sugarcoat this. We're jumping right in it. This happened yesterday. At this point, it kind of feels like someone's effing with us. I don't know. We had one practice yesterday. First practice is the very there. They don't have numbers smaller than one in terms of practicing days because negative don't count. I don't think they'll look at me like that, Uncle Buck. But here's the quote. Jackson experienced, quote, tightness on a play during the first day of training camp. Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins said, the injury will require imaging, and Jenkins said the team was expecting a strain. The good news is there's no reevaluated in there, right?
But one of the tweets did say TBD, and that's the one that got me. When it said TBD, I was like, oh, no, like I had heart palpitations.
I mean, let's be honest with you. If I were to get into the gym for the first time after a summer off, I'd be strained too. You know?
Well, here's the thing. It's soft tissue, right? Like you're going to have aches and pains and strains and stresses, and hamstrings are usually one of the first things to go, like you said, Uncle Buck, when you get back in shape. The difference is, and the reason, like, at first there was panic because it's another injury. It's another guy that's going to miss some time. It's another guy that's going to be out, when really I wanted to see some Jaren and Edie time together in training camp. We're going to have to figure that out in the preseason. But the good news is Jaren's job will now be to rehab. Like, that's all he's going to do. Jaren's a professional. With it being a soft tissue, hamstring tightness, like that can resolve in a week or two. Like, he could be back by the end of the preseason for opening night. It all depends on the severity. I know they said they're going to do some imaging and see what it looks like, but there's such a wide range on hamstring injuries that this could be a 4 to 6 week issue. It could be a 1 to 3 week issue. It just depends on what the imaging looks like. But like you said, Drew, getting back into basketball shape, you're going to have some bumps and bruises.
I'm not super worried about it. Like I said, if you take everything like the history and the 23-24 season out and you just look at this, it's like, it's not alarming. It's just the sheer pile of bad news that we've been given to the point. Like, I feel like there's like somebody needs to go check on DB. Like, he left mad, and I think he may have like gotten
he's a saboteur.
Poison the water.
I mean, like a voodoo doll or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
He's a saboteur. We're in the last 2 weeks, we've had 4 injury designations between Gigi, Vince, Cam, kind of in passing at media day, and now Jaren. It's just like when does it stop? Again, I told Maggie last night, kind of half jokingly, listen, Bluff City Media family, whatever you believe in, I don't care. God, shamans, Buddha, whatever, bring it to the FedEx Forum, do whatever ritual we got to do to get this injury bug out of there, because it's just like, at this point, it is a curse. Like, there's really no other way that you can look at it. We are, as a franchise, we are cursed. Because Maggie said, she said, well, like, is this normal? Do other sports teams typically have this kind of injury? I'm like, the Memphis Grizzlies have played the most players in 2 NBA seasons. It's not even close on an injury level.
Yeah. People get injured. What doesn't happen is 3 of your top 10, 11 rotation guys getting injured within 5 to 10 days of each other. That's abnormal, and that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not going to talk super long about this because it just sucks. I do want to briefly mention, we didn't talk about him yesterday. Let's talk about I want to talk about Zaire Williams just really briefly. He had the Nets media day and talked a lot. I think that's a nice way
to. Some things.
He said some things that we may or may not agree with here. Rusty, I know you. I want to hear what you have to say about one Magic 8 Ball Z.
Do you you have the quote real quick before you dive in?
I got it right here.
Read the quote.
I got it right here.
Read it.
Basically, he said, "Some days in Memphis," in quotes, "I just kind of felt like I was trapped. I definitely feel a lot more free here. It's a blessing in disguise." And I put out, just tweeted out with the video and said, "This is like trying to save face after you got broke up with. Best of luck in Brooklyn, though. Maybe they'll trade up for you on draft night, play you with one of the best point guards in the league, and give you ample runtime to find your confidence again after it leaves." Like, Zaire had every opportunity. You talk about trapped? Ain't nobody trapped Zaire. We gave him ample runtime in the G League, in Summer League, in the regular season to try and find his shot again. I mean, we took him, 15th, 17th overall, 10th overall?
No,
like, we moved up for him.
Yeah.
10th overall.
10th.
I knew we moved up and knew the teens. And, like, my brother in Christ, like, you had plenty of opportunity to find your shot again. And, like, I don't understand where you feel trapped. Like, this is very much, he rehearsed this in his bathroom mirror. He said, "You're going to say this about Memphis so you can save face." Exactly what this is, man. Because nothing about his time in Memphis was he trapped or on a leash. Not a single thing.
No, I believe that this was just mistaken. Like, I mean, they asked him about his time in Memphis, and I 100% believe that he did not have a good experience in Memphis last year. And I don't feel like it's wrong of him to say that. I don't feel like he was trapped, and it's probably a word that he regrets saying, because Memphis did go above and beyond it because it benefited Memphis. Memphis had a lot invested in him.
Mm-hmm.
You traded Jonas Valanciunas for the opportunity to pick him at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had a lot there. And after his rookie season, you really thought that he was number 4. Like, we were high on him. He was untouchable for us. And it just fell apart for him. And so mentally and emotionally, I'm sure it was absolutely draining to be on that team last year that was playing anybody that they could find, and for you still not to get any traction. I don't think he meant it as a jab to the coaching staff, because if he was, he's sorely mistaken, and he is being a pity.
He's young.
He's just wanting a pity party. But I don't think anybody. Zaire's a smart kid. He is like he went to Stanford. He's a well-adjusted person. He's a grown man who has got a good head on his shoulders. There's no way he thinks that Memphis mistreated him. Both parties needed a change of scenery.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Whether that's getting out of his cage or whatever. And I don't want to talk about the Nets any more than we have to, but this other account called Net Press, did y'all see this? What he tweeted out about Ja Morant? It's some like Nets like bot, I'm sure. But he said, "I'll said it a while back and I'll say it again. If Brooklyn lands Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey, don't be surprised if we also land De'Aaron Fox or Ja Morant." And somebody said, "There's no chance Ja Morant leaves Memphis." And he said, "I'm not sure, honestly." And this ties in. He was very close with Zaire Williams and is still close with him and Clax. The West is only getting more difficult, and one bad injury or bad season could lead him to wanting out. And I said, man, there's been a lot of bad takes on this free app. That one takes the cake.
Yeah.
What's going on in Brooklyn?
About
man,
the organization extending themselves for Zaire Williams. Multiply that times 5,000 to know what this organization has done to ensure that Ja has everything that he wants and needs.
Anyway. But no, the worst team in the East sounds better, right? That's stupid. We're
telling me the small town guy who reps for a small town franchise wants to go to Brooklyn.
Nah, all good.
Nah,
all good.
And your relationship with Nick Claxton is what's going to do it. Like,
it's not,
bro.
It ain't. And T Smith, I know you say you're new to the channel. What's up, buddy? Like, we don't talk about the Nets on the show unless we have to, and this needed to be addressed. This is a Memphis Grizzly podcast.
Yeah. Do not judge us by talking about the Nets alone, Mr. Smith. That's not what we do. We normally talk Grizzlies. I say that, but we're going to talk about the other New York team right now. I'm sorry. But we're going to talk about transition to the other Big Apple team. Okay, so we have not had time to talk about this on the show. When did this happen? Friday night? Saturday? It happened right before
over the weekend.
Over
Friday
the weekend.
Night, yeah.
And I've got the full Karl Anthony Towns was traded to the Knickerbockers for Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. That's the basics of it. But the full trade, which I believe was finally finalized, the Knicks get Karl Anthony Towns and the draft rights of James Nagy. I think that's right. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, sounds good.
The Timberwolves get Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, Keita Bates-Diop, and a 2025 first-round pick. And then the Hornets get a 2025 second-round pick, a 2026 second-round pick, Daquan Jeffries, Charlie Brown Jr., not that Charlie Brown, and Darius Washington, and $7.2 million in cash.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of glad we've had a few days to take us to kind of let this one marinate.
Yeah.
What are y'all's thoughts on this? I mean, like, because I think
I've changed.
I think I've got so I'm interested. Who do you? I'll start with you. Who do you think won the trade, or who do you like this trade better for?
Because I'm such a Cat hater, I was immediately like, "Oh, the Knicks just screwed up." But I don't think I feel that way anymore. The reason why I'm such a Cat hater in Minnesota was because he was like a fake number one. Like he was a number one that wasn't going to win games as being the number one guy. He fits so good in Minnesota. In New York, because finally he's going to be like, I'm good. Like, I'm just going to stand over here and shoot threes. He's a very tall, lengthy three-point shooter who is a better than average defender. And you look at what Minnesota's left with now. Minnesota's big problem is that they were paying Rudy and Cat. As much as I hate Cat, like Rudy, you're stuck with just Rudy now, like the big that can't shoot, And yes, you've got Naz Reid, and everybody loves Naz Reid, but no, everybody loves Naz Reid in small doses. He's the backup quarterback. He's the most popular person on the team because he just comes in and gets hot. Now, we don't know what he looks like in high volume anymore. And so you gave up Cat and you got back DiVincenzo, which I like DiVincenzo fine. Julius Randle is a cancer. Like, you won't convince me otherwise. He made it a point to get surgery late in the season last year so that he missed the playoff run where they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, he was a non-issue. He was a non-factor. And so, yeah, I've kind of flipped. I kind of really like it for the Knicks because you get off of Randall and then you ask Cat to fit neatly into this role here where you're just going to stretch the floor, shoot threes, and guard everybody's big man.
How about you, Rusty? Who do you
So I go back and forth. Like, this is going to be a hot take, but I don't think either team necessarily got a ton better. Yes, Cat and Nostalgia Nick, you're right, man, or whoever set it up here. It was strictly for Brunson, man. Brunson is going to like cook with it. He's going to feast with this floor spacing, getting Cat to get their big man out on the wing. Like, Jalen Brunson wins this trade 100%. What are the T-Wolves doing, man? Julius Randle is a black hole with a basketball. Once he gets it, it stops. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And Ant's going to suffer because Julius Randle's going to hang on the basketball. You got Jaden McDaniels. Like, you've got this weird team now, and I don't really know where it fits. Somehow, like, we all thought, oh, Minnesota needs to get rid of one of their bigs and they'll get better. And then they moved off of Cat. Now everybody's kind of like, well, maybe not. Because, DiVincenzo is going to be a good fit there because he can shoot. He adds to that team. Yeah. I don't blame him.
He fits any team, though.
He does because he's a shooter. And I don't blame him because he had a career year and then got demoted when they got Mikal Bridges, which, again, it's Mikal Bridges. I mean, goodness. I don't know, I'm going to get some hate for this one, but I don't know that the Knicks are necessarily better than they were with Isaiah Hartenstein. Yes, Hartenstein clogs the lane, but he's a better defender. He's a bigger rebounder. Cat can get in his feelings and just sulk, as Wayno said in the comments earlier. He can be just a absolute, withdrawal. Yes, from a basketball standpoint, makes sense. You can stand outside. He's a big man who can shoot threes. One of the better, I won't say best, like it said in the comments, but one of the better shooting big men in NBA history. But, sometimes you can add a player who's a good basketball fit and it doesn't help the locker room. And so I'm curious to what it's going to do from a culture standpoint. And we all know basketball players are, there's these big egos and everybody getting their feelings, they get hurt. If Cat comes in and he screws up the locker room, then it may not be the Knicks may not have as deep of a team or as good of a team as you think, simply because of the culture fit. I think Cat's a good player. I think, oh my God, best post-game player as well. Good Lord. It's getting deep in these comments. But
Yeah.
I think Cat fits from a basketball standpoint. I don't know about the culture standpoint.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I do. I like it. And Cat's, I don't know that I've ever seen an article or anything that says Cat's a problem in the locker room. Like, everybody loves him. Like, players love playing with Cat. And it's undoubtedly Brunson's team. I think the Knicks will win the East, and I don't think they probably run away with it. I'm confused by Minnesota, and this is a move made sheerly by an Excel spreadsheet and cap calculations and how much because you're paying Gobert, you're wanting to pay Nas Reed, you're paying Cat, you're going to have to back up a Brinks truck for Anthony Edwards. But like, Gobert does not work with Ant. Cat did. Cat got out of the way in the lane. Like, Gobert just can't do it. And that's a mistake. We've all known it's a mistake for a long time, but this is paying the piper for that mistake is having to trade Cat right now.
Yeah, and that's where Brunson's going to benefit, man, because again, Cat can get out of the way, and Brunson is absolutely going to feast on the East.
Yeah, I think that when you're looking at the Knicks, I think that in theory the Knicks might have, when healthy, like the best seven man rotation. I mean, you got Cat, you got Brunson, and then on the wings you got Hart, Bridges, and Anunoby.
Yeah.
And then you've got
Deuce
McBride and Davion Mitchell when healthy. Or not Davion Mitchell,
Mitchell Robinson
when healthy. That's 7 dudes. That's 7 hoopers.
That's deep, man.
That's deep. But the thing is, you mentioned culture. What I'm worried about is Tibbs and Cat, who they've already stopped together. And I just don't know, is Cat really going to be listen, Tibbs, I'll give you what you want. I'll run a gun. Like I just don't know if they tried that before and it didn't work. Is Cat going to be a more mature player, more susceptible to that? And also, if OG Anunoby gets hurt, this kind of falls apart for the Knicks.
Have we forgotten that they've got Mikal Bridges now?
I like Mikal Bridges.
No, we talked about him. Yeah.
I think OG is more. I love OG Anunoby, and I would have picked them even with their injuries before he got hurt. It was him that got hurt that I think was a little bit too hard to come back.
That kind of began the decline. I agree. Defensively, what he can do, rebounding, he's a big body. They got plenty of scores, but OG is one of the better defenders, and he can be that guy if you need him. I agree, man. I mean, Mikal Bridges is one of the best, probably 5 basketball players, probably at least 10 basketball players playing right now when healthy and hot. Like, he could take over a game and absolutely fill it up. And so there ain't no doubt about that. I agree. Josh Hart, very, very good. I love watching Hart play. He's just a hustle guy. Tibbs, it's interesting to see if Cat's going to be up for playing 45 hard minutes a night with Tibbs' offense and scheme.
It's Cat being able to play within that scheme and OG's injury. That's what worries about me. If take those out in a vacuum, aces. Yep, here you go. I think the Knicks win this in a vacuum because if you look at the T-Wolves, it's tough for me to look at Randle any other way than what you guys said. It's like I don't get it. And even if it might just be a 1-year rental, like he's got an option. Like, to me, this was, if you're the T-Wolves, you made this decision because of money, because you don't want to pay Cat. And because you're investing in Anthony Edwards, you're like, okay, we're on Anthony Edwards' timeline now. I think in theory, it's hard with Gobert, but I love Nas Reed. I like McDaniels. I love Donte DiVincenzo. And I think Alexander Walker. Yeah. Those are 4 dudes that I really like. And then you've got Ant, you've got Connolly. I just don't. Gobert's tough. It
immediately moved the needle. On ESPN.com, they immediately updated the win total. And now OKC is projected to win 53.7 games. Memphis is now in second at 51.3. So it moved us up in the Western Conference after this trade. That came out on Monday, that it took our win total up from 47 to 51. I mean, ESPN is already out on Minnesota there.
Yep. I mean, it seems like the Knicks made the decision to directly compete and battle the Celtics, and I think it works for them. What sucks is last season, the Timberwolves, well, it doesn't suck for us. Last season, the Timberwolves made a decision to compete and battle the Nuggets, the defending champs. And now that team that beat them in a 7-game series, done. It's going to be interesting. I think I'm with Uncle Buck. I mean, we might all be in agreement. I think after it's marinated, I think, and I know we're not huge fans. I think the Knicks maybe won it by maybe.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson is the winner.
Jalen Brunson wins. Jalen Brunson wins. He took that pay cut. He wins. You're absolutely right. Jalen Brunson wins, and if this goes well, he's going to have a statue of himself at Madison Square Garden.
I got to tell you that it was really shocking to me that a trade including Karl Anthony Towns included a player that I like less.
Man, yeah, you want to talk about two guys that like are just kind of bummer dudes to talk about between Randle and Cat. It's like, all right.
We are scraping the bottom of the barrel for content right now.
We're New York now.
It's a big apple. Enough about this. Let's talk about NFL. You know, I'm not going to say we're not going to have any more NBA news. It's been 5 days and there's been nothing but silly news. But the NFL week 4 is over and for a bye week start finally, but there was some stuff happening. The Titans got their first win. Let's start there. That was Monday night. Titans got their first win on the back of one Mason Rudolph.
Somehow we got our first win, and I feel worse about the team. It's an awful feeling. When the game ended on Monday night, like there was no yes or not even a single woo. It was just okay, there was no emotion there.
There were dozens of people watching that game by the end of it.
That's it. And also the bright spot is sad when for me the biggest bright spot was a rookie defensive lineman graded out as the best defensive lineman in the entire NFL. And that's my one good takeaway from the Titans game because Will Levis was bad. Mason Rudolph is not good. That O-line was blocking each other. We had Scroz and Randoons just blocking each like they both pulled. Tony Pollard immediately got tackled and hopped up and was yelling at him. It's bad, man. We might win 2-3 games, but as much as I hate him, I want Will Levis to start and play quarterback because I want him to completely burn out. And then next year, we'll be a top 3 pick. I was talking about this with a buddy of mine. We'll be a top 3 pick next year because we're going to be atrocious. And the move is Travis Hunter. And then you go get a veteran quarterback because your options are going to be Shedeur Sanders, which he is not a leader and not a great teammate. He's got the arm talent. Don't want Shedeur Sanders. I'm not sure about Cam Ward if he's an NFL caliber quarterback, but you go get Travis Hunter and then you see if there's an available vet quarterback. But Levis, Mayonnaise boy, just needs to stick to selling cologne and not playing quarterback.
It's funny because they have one win and they're not even the worst team in their division, which is really funny.
That's Uncle Buck and his boy. He loves Trevor Lawrence and thinks he's this great NFL
I don't love Trevor Lawrence.
He's so bad.
I'm just not willing to say that he's terrible yet.
I'll say it. He's
terrible. You look at Joe Burrow, whose team is not any better really than Jacksonville, but nobody's ready to throw Joe Burrow under the bus. But everybody's so ready to throw Trevor Lawrence.
He's lost his last 10 starts. He's 0-10 in his last 10 starts.
Joe Burrow's been to an AFC championship.
And so has Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
But Joe Burrow did things to get them there. The only reason Trevor Lawrence was there was that defense because they were winning games 7-6 or 13-11.
I don't want to die on this hill, but you're being way too aggressive towards this. The team sucks. He has no weapons. His defense now sucks. I'm just saying they're 0. He's 0 for his last 9, but he is not Will Levis. I mean, he is not directly responsible for all 9 losses here.
Look up how many fumbles and picks he's had. He turns the ball over. His defense doesn't make him turn the ball over.
But you know what? A lot of times turnovers are tied to desperation.
He's been put in a lot of bad spots.
I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to die on this hill. But at the same time, it's like I'm not ready to chalk him up as one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL right now either.
Oh, yeah. He's not good.
I know you are.
I watch him all the time in our division. I love watching him and the Jaguars get beat.
You make up your mind on something. You never change it. I mean,
that's not fair.
Here we are. We're about to have Jake LaRavia breakout season, and I cannot wait.
It's Jake LaRavia. Listen, man, if Jake LaRavia breaks out, I'll buy dinner at the Biscuit in Ripley, Mississippi. If I'm
going to get you a jersey, too, if that happens.
Fine, I'll wear it.
So who do you think stands a better chance at MVP right now, Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold?
Damn.
Sam Darnold,
I'm
man,
being
he's
serious.
cooking.
That team is incredible.
Rolling,
Like,
man. They're rolling.
Kevin O'Connell is coach of the year. Sam Darnold right now is MVP. Like, I'm
Aaron
kind of buying
Jones,
in.
comeback
a little
player,
bit.
like they can play, man.
I'm buying in.
I am too. And as a Bears fan, I'm buying in. I thought they were going to be last in the division. Like, I just assumed. I was like, Lions are my Super Bowl pick. And the Lions looked good. Jared Goff was perfect.
Yeah. 18 for 18. That's wild, man. And that defense is good. They look great in the all black uniforms. Those were slick. Uncle Buck, you and I had a talk about this prior to the NFL season when we were talking fantasy football, and we were like, Justin Jefferson, like, he's great, but who's going to throw him the football? Sam Darnold. Now it's like, I want Sam Darnold throwing him the football.
Yeah, for real. It makes things a little squirrely for old JJ McCarthy.
It does.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's really, like, before we take a break, I'm so excited that we're 4 weeks in and we're already like, these top draft picks are. We don't even know if I don't know. The NFL is great. The NFL is just stinking great. I love it.
You've got Baker on revitalization. You got Sam Darnold. You got Andy Dalton, the great ginger quarterback in Carolina, killing it. That's it, man. Red Rifle killing it. Like, I love the NFL. We got a ton of parity this year. The Chiefs are winning, but winning ugly. It's a matter of time before that kind of falls apart. You got Devontae Adams, possibly about to be a Jet or a Steeler. Like, a lot of cool storylines in the NFL right now.
Heck yeah, they are, man. I can't wait. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to draft some stuff. We're going to do some drafting, and it's actually kind of in the vein of what we titled the segment. Right after this, we're going to draft day, not the movie. Draft day, not the movie. Right after this break.
I think Jabari Smith Jr., I don't want this to be true, but I almost feel maybe Tobias Harris, yo.
What's wrong with Tobias Harris? We've had this discussion. All the guy does is give you a double-double, 20 and 10.
Bro.
That's it. That's it. Every night.
Who?
Tobias Harris.
Stop that. Tobias Harris gives you a double-double 8 times a year. Stop that.
What?
He gives you this
times a year.
I'm a fan. And this is what I'm saying, because I continue to be like, he's a dude he's a tease. It's a tease. It's like, God, dog, he's sexy, but it just won't work. Like he should be, but it's there. But it's just, when the games, it's just consistently. I don't know if it's you need more people to believe in it, something, but I don't want him, and also just to get lost in the rest in that Houston team.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I've always thought Norvell wasn't really that tight to me, because I was like, bro, this dude ain't it to me, bro. He left with the humility, and that's the only reason why people ain't destroying his ass right now.
That 2019 year is what supplanted his legacy as, like, he's the man. Oh, yeah, but let's not forget, he was one missed 20-yard field goal against Tulsa away from all of that being nothing. That one field goal changed everything. That missed field goal sent them to the AAC championship, brought game day to their place. I mean, that field goal changed a lot of people's careers. Ryan Silverfield wouldn't be here. Norvell wouldn't be in Florida State. It just changed everything. So
yep, that's facts. That's facts. Get him out of here. It'll put Memphis in the pole position to go and do what they gotta do to get to the college football playoff. If you win out, you got a chance to win out if you win this game against Florida State.
How crazy is that going to be?
It's going to be crazy.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Oh, we got Uncle Buck with us. I thought we lost him. We got him with us. We're back. There we go. We're back. Yeah, we back. Yeah, maybe.
He's a little buggy, so maybe.
He's a little buggy.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got him. We got you.
All right. Sorry, duty calls. So,
dude, you good, brother? So, we are back. We are going to be drafting. For those of you that aren't familiar with our show, we draft stuff on here on Wednesdays. It's really fun. We draft a bunch of different stuff. It can be movies, it can be drafts, it can be trades. Like the whole point of this is that it's just fun.
Draft day, not the movie.
Draft day, not the, although today we might be drafting the movie. I certainly hope not. If someone drafts this movie on this segment, I'm gonna be pissed. So today we're gonna be drafting sports movies. There's a lot of good sports movies out there. Spoiler alert, man. I was looking through these. Some of my favorite movies in the world are on here. We're just gonna be picking. We're gonna do 3. No criteria. Excuse me. You can just draft whatever. Doesn't have to be like a drama, a comedy, any of that. We're just going to draft our favorite sports movies. Where's my hat? I got my hat with the names in them. All right. We will be.
Come on.
Who will be first? All right, Rusty's first.
Yes, let's go.
And who's gonna go second?
It's gonna be Luke.
No. God almighty. Okay.
Last again.
I felt good about that. I felt good today. I woke up liking my chances today too. That's frustrating. Okay, well, if you both take my movies, I'm going to be very, very upset.
My list of sports movies is like 30 deep. But when I was working on this yesterday, like I just made a note on my phone and like every sports movie that came to mind. So we're picking 3. I've got 30 to pick from, and I've got the first pick. So for me, I'm going nostalgic. I'm going America's Pastime. I'm going R.I.P. James Earl Jones. Give me The Sandlot. One of the greatest movies of all time. Definitely one of the best sports movies of all time. I love The Sandlot. I'm taking Sandlot, my first pick.
Man, you said there were 30 movies. I've got like 30 movies on my list too. It's wild. It's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, this Sandlot was on my list, but it was not number 1. And so I'm so thankful to tell you guys that I get my number 1 pick. It's got the best soundtrack, possibly. Mm-hmm. It's one of the more quotable ones. It's based on a real story.
It's good.
And it happened for my T.C. Williams Titans. Left side!
Strong side!
Remember the Titans, man. The greatest sports movie of all time.
We blitz all night. We don't gain another yard.
Another yard. I love that. Oh, I love that movie.
That movie's fantastic. Hey, who would have thought that you just have to go 4-0 and you can end racism? It's great. I'm going to pick. I was worried this wasn't going to make it back to me. I'm going to take White Men Can't Jump. I love it. I love it. Woody's great. Snipes is great. Mm-hmm. One of the first pair of breasts I saw as a young man on the TV screen, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to take White Men Can't Jump. I get to go again, right? I get to go again?
Yes. Back to back.
Okay. I'm going to take, this one might be weird. I love this movie. I'm going to take Moneyball.
It's on my list.
It's on my list. Yeah.
I love Brad Pitt in that movie. And that's that dude in his acting in that movie. I'm like, oh, that's Coaches. I know that guy. I know that dude. I know that guy. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Man. I'm just swimming in it right now because with my first movie, we ended racism, and my second movie, we're ending communism. Rocky IV, baby.
Yes. Yes. If he dies, he dies.
He dies.
The Rocky Balboa with one left hook ended racism. Ended communism in Soviet Russia. The wall later came down in Berlin. The West won. How can you not pick Rocky?
Shout out Rocky.
You could have done. We could have done a list of all the Rocky movies. You could have done Rocky 1, 2, and 3, 4.
Thought about it.
Yep.
Yeah, could have done all Creed. Like you could throw sprinkled some Creed in there. There's a lot of great options to pick there. So I got 2 in a row. I'm gonna go football for my next movie, kind of an unheralded, off the radar movie that I think gets slept on a lot, but I love The Program with James Cain. Great college football movie, wild take. Mississippi State's in it, so that's kind of cool. But
that's why I got no ratings.
Yeah. Oh, the school, Florida Tech or whatever they are, beats the brakes off of them. So there's
Program's good, man. That's a good movie.
I love that movie. There's a lot of like Omar Epps, a lot of young guys in that movie, and like a lot of steroids in that movie.
Lots of
good movie. So again, man, I got a whole list, man. I got more football movies, I got more baseball movies, I got basketball. Like Coach Carter's one of my favorites, but I'm going to stick in the baseball vein. I'm going to stick again. I guess I'm just like more nostalgic today. Give me Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner.
It's October.
Yeah. It's October. I'm feeling baseball. Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Man, great baseball movie. So I got 2 baseball and a football. Yeah. Give me Field of Dreams.
I challenge you to not cry at the end of that movie when he says, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to catch." It's so sad. So good. Waterworks.
That movie is not even a top 5 baseball movie.
What?
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah,
Turn him off. Take him off stage.
No, it's not. It's not even a top 5 baseball movie.
That's a take.
I'm going to take Air, the Michael Jordan.
Oh, good movie.
The Nike Jordan shoes movie. It's the most recent of any sports movie that I've liked, and it is no doubt one of the best. Matt Damon's incredible. Ben Affleck's incredible. Viola Davis is incredible as Mrs. Jordan. It's a great movie. Go watch it. It's free. Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Wayno in the comments with the fan. That's a deep cut. That's also good.
That is a deep cut. I saw that. I'll go last for this one. I'm glad I got this. I don't know if a lot of people Blue Chips with Nick Nolte, where he coaches Shaq.
Nick Nolte. Where does he coach, Rusty? Who's Nick Nolte, the coach?
Well, he was with the Toronto Raptors at that point, but
that's an old 2-Bug Sports Show inside joke.
Yeah. Nick Nurse and Nick Nolte, same person. Never seen him in the same room at the same time. Is all I'm saying.
They look, man. If Nick Nurse and Nick Nolte are the same guy, that's the best actor I've ever seen. Let's go. Okay, so let's do our picks. I had White Men Can't Jump, Moneyball, and Blue Chips.
Yeah, I had Remember the Titans, Rocky 4, and Air.
And I got The Sandlot, The Program, and Field of Dreams.
Man, that's good. We're going to get these up on the X, on the Twitters, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm going to call it Twitter forever. We're going to put it up on that. Let us know who won. Everybody have good days today. Thank you for hanging out with us. Uncle Buck, have a good day at work. Everybody that joined us for the first time, thank you for hanging with us. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. If I can leave you with anything today, y'all, remember these 2 things, just 2 little things. Remember just to be a little bit weird, just a little bit, and remember to smile. Have a good day, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.